And we're back again. First time this week. Good morning, good afternoon, James and mine.
Good evening from Australia, but yeah, well,
Yeah.
good morning. I'm sure when this goes out.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got an equally amazing video for you today. We feel like this needs to be said. And if you don't hear this, I've got a feeling that maybe in the background, you're going to keep running through your coaching consulting business, not making the money you want, not helping the people that you should be helping, and not creating the impacts. Like it's full circle. So if you are not having a handful of conversations every single week with a somewhat level of qualified prospect to buy what you're doing in your business, then sales and even to an extent brand and service delivery is absolutely in no way, shape, or form your problem. It hasn't even got to that level yet. So I think moving away from the focus of sales, service delivery, brand, website, all those things, moving away from that focus is the best thing that you will do today, this week, this month, and you'll actually give yourself a chance at succeeding in your business. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. Like that's where we get people coming to us, right? And they say, "I've got a sales problem."
Mm.
And you're like, "Okay, tell me about it." And they start speaking, and you're like, "Okay, how are you saying it's a sales problem? You're telling me you're having, 10 minutes of conversation a month with prospects.
Yeah.
You haven't got a sales problem. You've got the problem of getting people to even speak to you."
And here's the thing, James, right? You might have a sales problem. Like, but we're just not there yet. Like we don't
Let's
even
worry
have the
about the other
data of
things first.
sales problems. Like I would say you've got a sales problem if your I would say high ticket programs are not selling at 50%. Yes, you've got a sales problem. But it's like if you haven't had 5 calls this month and two and a half of those people, because we're talking in halves of people, let's say 2 people haven't bought your program yet, like we just don't know if you've got a sales problem.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely, let's talk about data. Data will tell you what your problems are. What's the real problem? You don't have any conversations. So what's the first thing that we can do to create conversation?
Well, you've got to look at the offer that you're putting out to the market.
Yeah.
If you haven't got an offer that you're putting out there that is irresistible
Mm.
to your prospects, then you're just not going to have those conversations. So
Yeah.
you putting your offer out there that's really clear, people understand that this is exactly for me and this person understands my problems and they
Mm.
can fix it with this offer. That's how you're going to know whether the market wants what you're offering or not.
Yeah. You've nailed it there with something you said. They know exactly where you're at. When you're marketing, okay, it's about what's in it for them at that point in time, right? People get caught up on the facts and I've been doing this a long time now. I've had a lot of conversations of people wanting to grow their business, and they say things like, I know what I do is good. Okay. I'm like, in the nicest possible way and said with a lot of respect, that's the minimum expectation, is that your stuff's good. Okay. Of course it's good. Otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. Okay. Or you wouldn't have the aspirations to do it. Like being successful from this point forward is everything else. So it's having the irresistible offer. It's having a position in the market where people actually, how do you know you've got an irresistible offer? 2, 3, 4, 5 people a week are banging your messenger down and saying, "Hey, John, I'm really, really keen to talk about what you're offering here, or I'm really keen to talk about understanding where you could maybe help me. I'm having these problems." That takes leads and starts to create qualification in your prospecting process. Okay. So you need to be having more conversations with people in Messenger. Then we can talk about, hey, how do you get them on Messenger into a call? And then we can talk about, hey, am I able to sell at a right price point where it's valuable for my business, valuable for them and stretches them? And also, that's when we can actually talk about being good at delivery of your service.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see that confidence that people have in their own product or service, and that's awesome. But where's the feedback from the market to give you that confidence? Really happy that you're confident in your own skills, but how are you packaging that up and how are you communicating that to the market?
Yeah. As an entrepreneur, I call coaches and consultants entrepreneurs. So that's what I'm going to label this. You almost have to move away completely into a completely selfless nature when it comes to being egotistical around your offer. Okay. I'm the first with my offers. I'm like, I want to build this. I know it's valuable. Fantastic. Good for you, mine. However, like if I can't learn to communicate where somebody else wants that, then I can't succeed with that. So I know that if you're in a position right now where you're not having conversations, yes, I can help you with sales. But I'm not going to be starting there because we need to get conversations first. And it's like right now, your lack of ability to have conversations with ideal prospects is causing such a knock-on effect that you don't even realize. And it's causing, and again, these are conversations I've had for year after year after year. If you've got a family, you'll understand this, James, as well. If you've got a family, like you want to send your kids to the best school. You want to provide for them. You want to make sure they can do activities. You want to make sure that you can say yes to them. Like
you want to spend time with them.
Exactly. And it's like if you're in a business that isn't able to provide on levels because you have a gap in creating conversations at level one, that needs to be solved, man. Like that has to be solved, because if you don't solve that, you're going to create new stories of why it's not working, when in actual fact, the simple diagnosis is more conversations. It's like, how do I get more people interested in what I do? Irresistible offer. Then we start to go into process of something else.
Yeah, I think you've got to look at what you're saying to yourself. You've got to drop the excuses. You've got to stop giving yourself reasons why this isn't working.
Yeah.
And the really hard thing about being an entrepreneur is being able to step back and look at your business as an entity, and it's separate to you.
Yeah.
And that's where you're talking about, like, remove that ego and be able to look at your business objectively. But the truth is that's so hard to do. And that is the benefit of getting a coaching for your business and for yourself, so that they can help you identify these issues, these gaps, and say to you, this isn't a sales problem. This is an offer problem, or this is a messaging problem. Like someone who can look at it objectively from the outside, that's what you need.
Yeah. And how do you can create an offer in 60 minutes. Like and this isn't about me now, but I've helped people create offers in 60 minutes that have made multiple six figures through their business in less than 6 months. Okay. Many, many times. And I back myself to do it. So look, if you want help with that specifically, and you want help with creating those opportunities for conversations, send James a message or send myself a message. I'm not going to do this for free, but in 60 minutes, we'll hash out an offer. We'll make it worth your while, and we'll get you an offer in place that will allow you to start to have conversations, and it will allow you to start to have the right conversations. And then you can say things like, I've got a sales problem. But with your irresistible offer, it will sell itself any day.
Right. So you're saying that, Martin, there's going to be people watching this that will be saying to themselves, at least, I call BS on that. An offer on its own cannot make my business multiple six figures a year.
Cool.
What do you say to that?
Well, I would say right now your way isn't working. So try a different way. And number two, your offer, like if you look at the process, you have to get into a position where people are talking to you first of all, okay? Which is your offer. Make it irresistible, make it attractive. And, there's ways of doing that. And that's what I'm saying we can help you with. If you do that, you're going to generate conversations, okay? Generate enough conversations, it's a numbers game. So Is your first offer and the way you talk about it at the beginning going to be at a level where you generate multi-six figures from it? Probably not. It depends where you're at. Is it something that you can create in a crude manner at the beginning and then refine the message, refine the offer, deliver the offer, create a reputation around the offer, and then create multiple six figures in 6 months, 12 months, whatever that is for you, you will decide. Absolutely. That's how business is made. So I think in the background, looking at this and going, well, you have to be honest with yourself. Like the biggest challenge, the biggest pandemic in coaching and consulting is delusion and thinking you've got to do this on your own. Again, with all due respect. So I think it's looking at this and going, well, if I stop being delusional for 1 second and go, well, yeah, I need conversations before anything else, and then start to create an offer that for the next 12 months can bring people in consistently. It's a system. It's like, if I can say to you, because we have this, if I can say to you every single day, I'm going to bring whatever that money is. Let's say it's £1,000, £2,000, £3,000 a day. If I can create that system for you, which you can easily make £2,000 to £4,000 a day on consistently over and over and over again. Okay, if you have that, then you're going to be very happy with that. And I think for me, learning and creating that system, what did that give me? Well, it gave me everything. Before that, I did say things like, is this going to work? I did say things like, how is this going? How am I going to get this off the ground? Okay. The best thing I ever did was learn how to market, advertise, and bring in prospects through my social media and accounts, and then figure out the rest of the stuff after, when I was in alignment with actually getting ahead, which is, once again, irresistible offer, conversations, qualified conversations. It's all part of a process. The people that are at the top right now doing $1 million plus a year, I would say they're in the top 3 to 4%. The way I've built my business to multiples of 7 figures now is by getting this right.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm sure the passion is coming across. This is consistently an issue that we see coming through the business again and again that people have. Some are able to wake up to it, some aren't. I think the bottom line is, if you're able to articulate your offer and do it in a compelling way, then you're taking that money that's been left on the table for far too long. Yeah. So stop waiting around. Seek help, guidance from us. Yeah, we can certainly help with that, and get that, as Martin says, £1,000 to £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 a day back in your pocket where it belongs, because you believe in the service that you can offer. Now you just need to get it in the hands of the people who actually want it. So it's a very simple.
Yeah, I'd say, like there's a lot to business entrepreneurship, but like the foundation is marketing. And I didn't want to admit that for a long time. But it is the truth. And I think once you can solve that problem, it's like it opens doors for you. You get to start to decide on what that looks like for you. So again, open yourself up to doing the system properly. Business is a system, okay? And as much as people don't want to admit it, success in business is a financial number, okay? If you could be in a job right now and you would earn more, then financially, on a business level, that job is more successful than your business, okay? People don't want to admit that, okay? They want to talk about feelings, emotions. That's great. I get it all. But your level of personal development and sophistication in that is directly correlated to how much money you're going to make. So you're uncapped right now, and missing and having a few gaps is what's creating your financial number. Okay. So this is what I would say we're really good at solving. Okay. It's the cash flow and conversations, qualified conversations, turning those into, great prospects and turning those into great clients, and then creating the service for repeat business. Until you've got those first few things in place, that it doesn't matter how good your service is. You're being paid exactly what you deserve right now. Don't let anyone else tell you any different.
Yeah.
Lovely. Again, I trust this was valuable. There's a lot in here. And again, I'd love to hear where you got takeaways from this. And is there anything else you want to say on this, James? I know it's something we're really keen to help the market with.
Yeah, look, I think we've hashed it out, and parts of it are going to be relevant to some people, parts of it are going to be relevant to others. It's actually really simple. I think you've gone through the process. If you're having problems at any stage of this and you're not sure where your problem lies, which I think a lot of people that's the case for, then just reach out, because we'll be able to help you identify that, and then we'll go about solving it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot simpler than you think.
Learn to ask questions, guys. I think anyone who's trying to do this alone, like I've had mentors now for 6.5 years, like the same mentors. Why? Because they help me spot problems. I'm not immune to my own problems. I just don't avoid trying to ask questions. I ask as many questions as possible.
Perfect.
Lovely.
All right. Well, thanks very much for watching.
Appreciate it. And James, thank you for your time. The gold is evident.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks.